Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 97 of the Realm Recap. I am Jason from Yakface.com, joined as always by Flyguy from Flyguy.net.
Good evening, interwebs and Star Wars fans. Lots of cool news to bring you.
Yes, welcome back, everyone. We took last week off, actually. After coming off of the busyness that was the week of May the 4th, there really wasn't anything happening last week. It was nice to have a little break and not have to call through the news feeds and reports to see what to talk about. So it was nice to take a little break, but a decent amount of stuff to talk about this week from Hasbro. A lot of Lego stuff this week and some good Rogue One reveals, and of course FunCo, the Smuggler's Bounty box was released and started arriving, and there's some mixed results in regards to the contents of that we'll get to. The pops are great, but if you're a grammatical person, you might bristle at some of the errors that are on some of the product that's included. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. Starting off this week, there was a reveal via, and it popped up on several different places. Twitter was the first place I saw it. This was a Black Series 6-inch Astromech 3-pack that turned up at Toys R Us in Hong Kong, completely unannounced, of course.
Yeah, exactly. I know, of course, the Pulse is failing us still. They're telling us nothing. So this does look legit. It really does look legit. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what your kind of information found, but of course, we know nothing. It's all speculation. For some reason, $108 was bandied around by someone, although no one confirmed to me where that came from.
Yeah, I think that was in foreign dollars. I'm not sure. Well, I guess I take that back. That's what it translated to, but there's no way that it's going to cost that much here.
Well, exactly. I mean, when I translated that from Hong Kong dollars to even to US, and it's way off. It's way off. So the price seems really weird. But I don't know. But yeah, three Astromechs: R2-A3, R5K6, and R2F2, all kind of background. All A New Hope, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. The R2-A3 is kind of like Wedge's Astromech. We kind of received him before in the there was that Wedge Antilles X-wing that came out from it was a Target exclusive, I think. It was an unnamed droid in that set, but the colors are very similar to what that would be, and I mean they gave it the designation, so that's who he is. R5K6, we've got a 3 3/4-inch version of that figure that came in a couple different ways. No, I think maybe just one actually. I'll have to think back, but for sure it came as a part of a battle pack that came with like that Rebellion hangar sled thing.
That's right. Yeah, that's it. Scramble on Yavin, I think it was called.
Yeah, that was a great set.
Yeah, I did a little check back through, and all three of them, as far as I can tell, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I can tell, Hasbro have made these all before.
Right.
The
third one is kind of different. I'm spacing the name for a second, but it's very similar to the one from A New Hope, but it has a different name. And this designation R2F2 was used in like the Fantasy Flight game.
Yeah, board games. Yep, they've definitely had some history that way. Yeah.
But regardless, they're all technically new figures. I mean, as far as this scale goes, and this is the first R5 unit we've received for the.
That's right. That's right.
For the 6-inch line, so I assume we'll get some nice repaints, and hopefully we'll get an R5D4 in the near future.
We're getting an R5D4. That's a given, but this is real. But so these are all R2 repaints, by the looks of it, because they come with all the little tools the original one came with. We assume it's the same mold. It would make sense if it was. I hope not, actually, because the R2 was always a little small. It was always just a little freakishly not right, but the two R2s come with accessories. Sorry, you were going to say something there.
I was going to say that's been the main complaint that I've heard so far regarding this set, is that it's using that original R2 mold, which is a little underscaled for the 6-inch line. So anyway, it's and there's also speculation going around that this might be a shared convention exclusive, very similar to how there was that Cantina Encounter set that included Han Solo and Greedo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was first available. What was that at? It was available through Toys R Us, but also at San Diego. Is that where it was?
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, it could be like the Boba Fett Black Series, which was Celebration Europe and
right.
from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it makes sense to have it be a convention exclusive rather than a retailer type thing. Because like the Han and the Greedo one, that was just a package presentation difference. The figures weren't new.
Exactly.
These are new offerings. So
yeah,
I would think that these are more in keeping with being a convention type thing, like you said, Celebration Europe or San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll see.
I mean, pure speculation, and we're maybe lingering on this too long, but I mean, these droids could probably likely be making an appearance in Rogue One, even as background characters again, given that some of them are from that time frame in A New Hope. And if Rogue One, they're doing the homework and looking back to that period of time when things were going on with the Rebel Alliance, then they could well be bringing in, Astromechs we'd seen before. So this could be maybe why we're getting this back. I don't know, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll find out.
We'll find out. Let's see. Next up, the Takodana Encounter sets. I don't know if anyone else who's watching and will be watching this in the future has been running into this as well, but my target is just sitting on these like crazy.
Yeah. They're
not moving or shifting or selling through at all. I don't know if it's the price point, essentially. You're paying the $26, whatever it is, for one new figure and then some repacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think buyer beware. It's just this. People are very kind of skeptical with products and things to buy these days, and all of the figures are new, really, bar one and a little, chest.
Maz.
So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the older set. We're flooded over here with the Wookiee, Chewie, and Kylo, and the Trooper, and lots of the green weapons. If you remember that kind of pack set as well, and they're just not shifting at all at our targets. So yeah, they're all on a clearance. So anywho.
Speaking of clearance, Walmart has started clearing out quite a bit of their The Force Awakens merchandise. People have been finding, they've been finding the Falcon that include, it's the Nerf Falcon for $35 at Walmart, which is like $150 item, I think, $125, something like that. Hero Mashers are selling through. I don't have a link in the show notes, but I did have a comment. Scott from Tulsa was sharing a bunch of stuff that he had been finding this week on clearance. Again, a lot of the Hero Masher stuff. Some of the vehicles that include, Ray's speeder, Kanan and his Y-wing type shuttle thing. A lot of those have been going on clearance for $5 or $8, something like that. So if you've been holding off on those, now might be the time to hit them up.
I've not seen the Hero Mashers. I've not heard or seen anybody offering them at things like Five Below or any discount stores yet. So that's actually been a good sign, I think. But I think once we do, I don't know if they've been popular or not. It'd be interesting to hear other people's thoughts and whether they've been. I've seen a few people buying these Han and Greedo and a few classic characters, but not terrible. But yeah, to see whether they're field line or not.
Well, Hasbro is making new ones apparently, because shared earlier this week, some new sets had been found. You had that link here just a second ago. There was a Fifth Brother one that had shown up at retail, as well as Ezra, Plo Koon, and Cold Weather Gear, which is kind of an interesting choice, and the Shadowtrooper, which is kind of makes sense for Rogue One maybe, but Yeah, these have started showing up at stores. Some of these were found by Corey from First Order Transmissions and Galaxy Junkyard, I believe. So
Yep.
not bad if you're looking to if you're into these and looking for more pieces to build upon. Yeah, to mash. I'm surprised we haven't got the mini ones like how the Marvel line has. Those,
maybe LEDs. But yeah.
Who knows?
Definitely.
That'll show up at San Diego Comic-Con or something like that. Let's see. Next up here, Target in Australia, where you are, had some clearance type stuff for some Black Series.
They did. I've stupidly closed the link there, but they had the what a load of tweets. They had this pack here. The what do we call it? They never really gave a name for that. It was basically just the Riot Trooper and Poe Dameron, but the just piles of these things here, equivalent to $20 for the set, which is pretty good. That's half price. Yep. At one point, they were giving a buy one get one free as well. So it's a great set. I mean, you want an army build. I mean, what a perfect set. You get in all the weapons and all the gear. The Poe's kind of sucky. It's not too bad. It's actually quite a good figure in terms of sculpt. But at $20, I mean, $10 for a Black Series figure is not to be scoffed at. So
right.
A lot of good deals going on with Black Series these days.
Yep, you had another one here from Asda in the UK.
Yeah, a friend in Scotland on Twitter, Brian, had shared that they were selling them for $10 each, which I think, from memory in the show notes, I think I put the translation of that for there, $14.60, which is especially good for the UK. That's really cheap for that. Oh, my camera's going a little weird. So yeah, it's a pretty good price.
Yep. Feel free to leave comments on the show here as far as any kind of sales you've been finding in your area. We'll report those and pass those on to through social media and whatnot. So let's see what else. Moving on to FunCo. Like I said as we started the show, the Smuggler's Bounty boxes started arriving. This themed box, I'll grab mine quick. I have it here handy, of course. It is the Smuggler's Bounty Hunters box featuring Boba Fett on the packaging. And surprisingly, it's kind of there's only been 4 boxes so far, but including the character that's on the box is is the first that we've had so far. But inside has the cool jet pack or jet flame Boba Fett and an all-new sculpt.
Very nice.
He is very cool. That one there. And then also the surprise one that was in there was the IG-88, which is a great sculpt. It looks kind of like one of those, the Nandoroid or Nidoroid, whatever you call those things. It's kind of the exaggerated, super deformed sculpt. Kind of hard to see with the glare, but it's very pop-like yet unique in its own right. So, and then you get some cross-sell figures on the back, which reveal all of them have been announced so far except for the Forlam. So we'll see where that becomes available.
That's going to be very annoying and difficult for collectors if you wanted to collect all the bounty hunters, because unless you bought this box, you're out of it for IG-88. Because you could use another Boba, but in terms of getting the set,
right?
IG-88 is going to be the one to chase.
Yeah. What else was in that box? There was a patch, as they always include a patch. There's the Boba Fett.
Very nice.
Very nice. And a little pin or badge, depending on where you live. Bosky. And the infamous shirt. This has been a point of discussion over the past couple days since it's been revealed. It's kind of like a schematic shirt. I don't know if people can see very well. You can kind of see, got Zuckuss, Forlam, IG-88, Bosk, Boba Fett.
It's very cool.
There are a couple, there's one definite typo on there. They've got Assassin on here. they're missing an S here, so it's assassin, I guess, but it's spelled wrong. And then IG88, I just posted the box opening video the other day, and I called that out in this video as well. But that doesn't look like a G to me. It looks like a 6.
It's like a 6, yeah.
So, and there's one more nitpicky thing that I just noticed as I was prepping for the show is I'm looking at the Boba Fett box, looking at it, Boba Fett's name. Boba Fett's name's fine there. Boba Fett, hyphenated. Boba Fett, hyphenated. Boba Fett, hyphenated. Why? FUNCO, come on.
Yeah, a little strange that one why they missed that out, but
I guess they were hyphens were free that day because IG88 got all his. I don't know why. So
poor LOM got his, so I guess they thought, well, in hyphen mode, let's keep going.
Yeah,
so,
let's hyphenate everything. So yeah, it's a great box all in all. I think obviously I'm kind of biased here considering I've got a 7-foot tall wall of bobbleheads over here, but FunCo also announced this week their next box, Jabbas Palace, which is going to be a great box. I have a feeling. Lots of speculation already flying about as to what it might include, like the Rancor Keeper, since we've got the Rancor recently.
True.
I don't know. There's just so many different Jabbas Palace aliens that you could get in here. Maybe get a Yakface.
You could get a Yakface.
Wouldn't that be awesome? I'm petitioning for that right now, actually.
Give me something weird like a Man-a-Man. I don't know. I guess.
Yeah, that would be Man-a-Man and Pop. That would be so awesome.
Would be. Well, they get plenty of choice to make. I mean, who knows? Who knows? That's the speculation, which is the fun.
Very much. Moving on to Lego. There was a bunch of Lego leaks, and well, not so many leaks, but there was news and some sets that turned up in stores earlier than they should, really. But there was this new one that was revealed, the Rebel Combat Frigate from Star Wars Rebels. Yep,
that kind of leaked out. Not the most exciting ship, I have to say. I think it's
very cool.
Yeah, I mean, the Tantive 4 had a certain kind of charm about it and style. I suppose it 30 years to be popular, but I think the key one in this is it's the Ahsoka minifigure really that's going to be driving this thing. So
yep,
that's what's going to drive people insane. Because we've had Chopper, we've had Imperial chappie with his weapon. We've had that before. We've had Ezra. So new really is the commander who's it's Ahsoka. Everybody's buying this set for Ahsoka. So expect to see lots of this ship on eBay with no minifigures for a very cheap price. But
I wonder if they'll switch up the deco for Ezra, since his outfit's slightly different in season 2.
Yeah, the images unfortunately are not that big.
But Callus seems like an odd pack in for this.
He does. It seems very weird. Just a kind of odd set, I think, in some ways. Lego have been very weird with some of the releases these days. They seem to be very, very strategic on the sets they release and what minifigures and some odd choices, but it seems to be more to get you to buy the thing, I think. So, no, can't blame them. They're in business to make money. So,
right.
Cool little set.
Let's see, what else here? The next thing was, this was shared over at Rebel Scum. Yesterday, I believe, it had popped up the First Order General. I don't think it's technically Hux, but the First Order General has been popping up online.
Yep. And it's out of stock. So chances are there'll be some in stores. It'd be nice to try and pick this one up, but I'm not really desperate for it myself. But
yeah,
nice little figure. Can't complain.
What else was there? Some Lego clearances have started happening at Walmart. I've run into I mean, they've sold through whatever they had at this point, but some of the Rebels sets were 50% off, or Rebels packaged sets. Like the Imperial Shuttle, that was 50% off. The Assault Carrier, which is it kind of looked like a Star Destroyer, but it had the little mini TIE fighters and some other pack-in figures with it. That one was 50% off, but as with always with Walmart, and depending on where you live, your mileage may vary on what sets are available and still in stock and available at that deep discount.
That is a deep discount, yeah. Well, something you see often with Lego.
No, but I guess, is it June is when the next wave of?
Yeah.
So there's
Star Wars.
That's 2 seasons back now. So I think they're looking to shift out some of those older product, and so keep an eye on the aisles, because I think some of those other sets that haven't been marked down yet will probably be soon.
Yeah. I think some of the new sets that already appeared on LegoShop.com, the Kanan Speeder, I think you picked that up.
Yep, I got that one.
So that's one of the brand new sets. There's a bunch more to come. So yeah, you should see some clearance in some of the older stuff. Hopefully.
Let's see, what else? Last weekend, I made my way to Toys R Us, and they had a little buildable Millennium Falcon that you can do. After I took these photos, and I had posted them on Instagram and Twitter and stuff, people had commented that it's missing some pieces. I wasn't given the pieces because I used up everything that was in the bag. There's supposed to be 2 little studs that go in between. There's the little space in the mandibles there in the front of the ship. Those are supposed to be filled in with, those little 1-bys.
Those pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still a great little ship. I got another one I'll have to put together because I got 2 that day because I took 2 kids.
We're good. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. So that was a fun little free thing you did that day. One you had shared here was a custom Death Star, Lego Death Star. I saw pictures of this. This is pretty awesome.
It's very awesome indeed. French builder Eric Drouin has made this, and kind of been inspired by lots of the old Kenner and Palatoy sets. It's beautiful. I'm trying to open up a larger image here, so bear with me. It's kind of hard to see. So click the links in our show notes. They'll be underneath Jason's in my video. But the the detention cells there. There we go. So the cannons are there. You've got the Emperor's throne room, the elevator. It's just beautiful. I don't know what Lando's doing in there, but there you go. Just nice touch. I don't know why we can't get something like this. Modular pieces. Let us build a Death Star. Come on. It's like do something together. A little Obi-Wan piece there as well. Just beautiful. I mean, the Death Star, Lego Death Star, is really, really far out of reach for a lot of people to build. It seems, it's $500 in overseas and $350 in the US. A little component thing, I don't know why they don't do that, but it'd be nice to even build a small chunk of the Death Star. But very cool. Right. At least just from hanging. Yeah.
That cannon is like the perfect, recreation of the Kenner blaster.
Definitely.
It's a great one.
Very cool.
Let's see, what else did we have in here? There was a little mini movie again here, tying into The Force Awakens a little bit. You had shared.
Yep. Thanks to, he's probably watching, Matthew Dillard, Kylo Ren fan. Thank you very much, dude, for letting me know about this one. He always sends a lot of stuff, and sometimes I know about it, and sometimes, like this one, I didn't. So a nice little precursor to Finn's attack on Jakku. It's actually quite fun. There's a couple of real fun moments for adults too. So some good humor, and it's like 8 minutes long or something. So it's a little mini movie, but good fun.
Nice. What else was there? Leaving Lego here for a bit, there was the First Order Stormtrooper premium format figure went up for pre-order today on Sideshow's site. There's 2 versions. There's the standard and the exclusive. the difference is the exclusive includes the small little side pistol that attaches to the leg.
Yep.
A decent little feature for the same price.
Yeah, I don't know why you would want the other one at all, actually. So, yeah, just look as if something was missing, I think. It's a beautiful looking piece. I was just kind of gulping over earlier on, but it's 20 inches tall. Nice, nice display piece.
Looks really good. The price is a little outlandish, I think. $500.
Yeah, I think it's $350 at best. But I mean, it's limited edition, 1,000 of them. Premium format, don't muck around. They're generally normally beautiful.
Yeah.
So there we go. It's actually GB007. I didn't realize until I read that there. So you're not just getting any old trooper, you're getting James Bond premium format.
Well, that's interesting.
So, that is interesting. Cool.
Let's see what else. And lastly, dealing with Sideshow, they updated and uploaded some new images for the the Jawa set that's coming soon.
That's right. There's a few new images there. Click the link and go through and have a look. But yeah, I don't know about these Jawas. I'm not sworn on them, but some shots like that just look fantastic. They look really good. There's a few that just don't look good at all. So I would have loved Hot Toys to tackle these rather than Sideshow personally. That's just my preference. But I mean, very cool. If you were missing Jawas for years, U2D, this is your happy day. You can order these. So they look pretty good, and of course you get 2 in the set. So, which seems to be the normal pack-in, I think, for Hasbro and Sideshow and everyone else who makes Jawas. Because they're small, you get 2. So
right.
Not bad.
Let's see what else. Moving on to some Disney news here a little bit. The Elite series C-3PO and R2-D2 came out this week. These are the die-cast figures that are exclusive to Disney stores, both Disney Store and online. I'm not thrilled with the C-3PO.
Did you buy it yourself?
No, I'm not getting this thing.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a nose.
He does not have a nose. You're absolutely right. And why did they do that?
They totally missed it. It's weird. Like if you hold up some,
sure,
costume photos and look at this side by side, it's like he is completely missing the nose that's supposed to be on his face. And it's not really a nose. It's just like a little inverted V for a nose kind of a deal. But man, it's glaringly absent in that sculpt.
Yeah, it's and the thing is, I mean, this is, as far as I can tell, a repaint of the one which came in that original set,
right?
And just repainted the arms. So it's a bit of a cheap make, I think. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Elite at all myself, but
there's another shot there that shows his back. I don't know if you could scroll down and click on it. Look at those screws, man. Jeez.
Oh,
I think he needs one more somewhere, right in the. I don't know. Just that's way too many screws. That's like me putting together something in shop in like 4th grade. That's how many screws I would need to put something together. It's like
12 huge ass screws. That's nasty. You're right about the nose. There's the little nose there, which shell.
Come on.
Yeah, the little up arrow. And yes, they've completely missed it. There's another reason not to buy it. No nose and full of screws. So that's terrible. Yeah.
Other than that, though. Yeah. And then there's the R2-D2. That looks pretty good. I mean, it seems to be a great scale. Larger than the Hasbro version. It's metal. I haven't seen it in person to see how well the paint has been applied. Because that can vary and impact the perceived quality of it quite a bit. But it looks good in this shot.
It does. I think our friend from the First Order pod, Collectibles, I'm sure he did a review of them. I think he bought them both. He was a big fan of the Elite series, so maybe he's going to review it. But I mean, it's die cast. It's really heavy. Chances are this is going to be heavy. It'll work. Now, fun enough, we don't get a back shot of R2, so we don't get to see screws. So
I don't know if I don't know if I dreamt it or if I was just it was wishful thinking, but I swear I saw an image somewhere that the holes are filled in on the back of the R2.
that's weird, isn't it?
I don't know if someone leave a comment or something or reassure me that I'm not completely out of my gourd or something. I don't know. I swear I saw filled in hole, you know, like little plugs or something that covered up the screws. I don't know. I'll have to research later if no one else sees it.
Yep.
What else do we have here? Kotobukiya announced and have up for sale through online sellers like Big Bad Toy Store a Dagobah R2-D2 and Yoda set, which is fantastic.
The Yoda's beautiful.
It's awesome.
That's very nice.
The paint job on that R2-D2, if it comes out, you know, close to that, I will be extremely happy. That's a great paint job.
Well, Kotobukiya are really, I mean, they're very good with paint, I think. I've always had no issues at all with them. That's incredibly weathered, the R2.
Yeah.
It's very good. But then again, he was covered in all sorts of crap, so yeah, that's going to make sense. But,
and as a bonus, it includes the Spirit or Force Ghost Yoda, which I really like as well. So that was an instant pre-order for me. The second I saw it, I didn't even care what the price was. I'm just like, ordered.
Take my money. Take my money.
Didn't care.
Yes.
Let's see what else. Disney Infinity. It had so much potential, and then they announced that it's dead. It's you know, I'll give Disney this, that they didn't let the thing just linger and linger and linger and then die a pathetic death. They just axed it, you know, 2 series in or 3 series in essentially.
Yeah, there's a number of issues I think with this, and we were talking about this on the Complete Bricks show we do, because Disney Infinity kind of get boiled up into it with all the playable figures and video games and Lego dimensions, but it was the price. They started off at a price point that just chilled a lot of people from collecting it. And I'm sure you're the same, and literally all across the globe. I've literally seen these travels recently. They're everywhere, and they just are not shipping. Everywhere. They're slowly getting through now. I mean, I'm seeing price points at about $7 US per each one, which is probably the same. Sure, once there's a lot of like buy one get one.
Yeah.
Go to any Toys R Us and they're doing some kind of discounts, so they're definitely trying to clear them off. But there's a lot of them.
Yeah, they really overproduced a lot of the figures and a lot of the sets, like from not so much. Well, it's hard to say depending on where you go. Like Toys R Us, they devoted it like an entire aisle, and it was just always packed, like a ridiculous amount of inventory. And it's like no store would ever sell through that amount of those things. So I think it was just they overestimated the popularity, and I don't know. I think that killed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they started off as well, I think, with that very expensive starter pack. And Lego have done the same, and they're feeling a little bit of pain too. But I mean, to launch into market, I mean, Skylanders must have thought, oh crap, here we go, everybody's coming in. Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions. There was a few other ones out there as well.
Well, there's that that Playmation or something like that HASBRO.
That was doomed from the beginning. That was terrible.
Right.
But I don't understand how that line just wasn't. I mean, the writing was on the wall from everybody from day one on that one, I think, and it just. It's almost like it was too late. They'd made a bunch of them. We have to get it out now and launch it at the same time as Disney Infinity. Terrible idea. But there's still some to come for Disney Infinity. So, Rogue One. So there's still some Rogue One Infinity.
This list that was posted by I can't read what it said. Kotobukiya. This is what was going to happen if it would have continued on. They had these products, you know, essentially in the pipeline ready to come, but I don't think they ever went to production, but this was the plan to have Rogue One set this fall, Episode 8, obviously, for when that comes out next year, and then a larger scale of existing figures, but they have some different detail and some different in-game play associated with them. There was a Darth Vader one planned, so I don't know.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So
anyway,
you'd almost wish some other manufacturers would take that kind of approach and say, you know, we're not making any money on some of this stuff. Let's just kill it. You know, I'm not going to badmouth any other one company, but you know, you could go to any retailer and go in the toy aisle and you could see what stuff just doesn't move.
Yep.
But it's still there, and you still get more products. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's kind of pump and dump. They kind of fill the stores full of this stuff, and then they almost don't want to know anymore. Just leave it. It clogs up. But so it's low toys.
A couple other things here in other news. Some patches and tees and props that you had shared here.
Yeah, Scott from Tulsa actually turned me on to these guys. Now, there's not a lot here at the moment, but he's assured me that there's a ton of other stuff that these guys sell. Very cool patches with all the kind of stuff that's come out for Funko Pop. Boxes of all varieties. There's a lot of interesting patches for collectors as well, and this is a good site for them as well. But the other interesting, they have tons of stuff. T-shirts, they've got some very cool kind of T-shirts in there too. He bought a bunch of them. He really liked them. Cantina for cheers. First Order logos, rice code, on and on and on, sorts of stuff. And they also had a couple of things which I really liked, was the prop replica. Well, we've got great companies like ANOVOS out there doing some beautiful stuff. There's a lot of stuff that you might not get to see in a hurry, and there's a good example, a Wookiee Bowcaster. So it was a really unusual one that I hadn't seen before. The images, there we go, it's a little better quality image. But yeah, if you want a Wookiee Bowcaster, that's pretty good looking, I thought. So, so yeah, if you're a Wookiee fan, there's a good looking one there. So it's some really interesting, curious stuff. Pins, stickers, badges, T-shirts, and a couple of props and other things. Scott Productions, SKAUGHT. But yeah, thank you to Scott for sharing that on.
Excellent. This one I saw today as well. This was some sort of a god-awful bootleg thing that popped up overseas.
This is the stuff of nightmares. It's you know, I mean, there was a time, and you remember the time as well as I do, in the dark times, Jason, way back when there was no movies and no toys, and you know, people bought this stuff, and Uzi was one of the most memorable ones. They went on to be worth a lot of money, and I know people who want this set. Several people sent me an email saying, "I really want this. Could you get this for me?" And I was like, "No, I'm not even buying this thing. You'll find it somewhere on eBay." But it's pretty terrible. It's kind of parts and pieces, a cheap ass set, and in this little Chinese store, I saw this, or Asian store, I shouldn't be so racist, I guess, but in this little Asian corner, this little Asian store was this, and there's another one I found too. So
it's just weird. What about that is episode 7? You know, it's that
Stormtrooper head is kind of. I think what they've done, they've taken parts from different toys and molds, whatever they had available, and just mushed them together. Darth is relatively, from memory, okay in the chest front, but the head's just a black head. It's just like a, you know, a bald black head. This snowtroopery thing is a kind of part flame trooper, part snowtrooper, part Boba Fett.
Right.
I don't know. There's a cute, but it's the R2 that just steals the show. It's kind of like something at Sesame Street or something. It's
yeah, it looks like, you know, you mentioned back during the dark times. This looks like a Bendham's set.
It does. It really does. So,
which I've never owned a single one. I'm proud to say. But
they've pinched the Black Series drawings.
Right.
Called Episode 7.
Yeah, and they've got the Vader at the bottom from the Vader line look.
Yep.
It's just a smash garbage set.
I'll get some more pictures to share, but this one was the nasty ass one that I could find, and there's a few more dodgy ones to follow. I shall share on Twitter this week. But It's
Now,
pretty terrible.
if these are like the 6-inch, these light up too, right?
Apparently, they do have some LED lights in them.
Because it's
so
got the holes in the chest.
I believe so. So it doesn't say that anywhere on the pack, but I have seen some other crappy ones that lit up, and they were terrible, just like really, really bad. So,
and usually, if they light up, you could stick your finger in the hole in the package, and it would light up.
Just you keep your fingers to yourself, young man, or whatever you do with them. But yeah, that's okay. Actually, I should just point out one other thing there. The Darth Vader's lightsaber is blue and it's bent. Oh. So there you go. Just adding to the crap factor there, just so very cool.
Oh boy. And this final one here is the Star Wars Japan post office collectibles that you had shared.
Yeah. A friend here had sent me this. It must have been, I can't remember who it was that sent me, but somebody sent me this literally a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to post it, talk about it, but just for the show. Japanese post office has some very curious and very cool collectibles. Not only do they have stamps and cool little things, they've got a gold stamp. They get frames of the stamps, which if you're a stamp collector, you'll just go in love with. Silver versions of the stamps and envelopes. But the thing that got me was the items further down. Nice presentation cases, beautifully done. Then you get this presentation case, which I thought was beautifully done. This big folder of all the movies and, well, most of the movies anyway, with all sorts of collector stamps. There's some others, postcards, I believe they are. I can't read the Japanese or haven't translated it yet, but that beautiful Empire Strikes Back multicolored Yoda image, and lots of great classic posters, and some new that I'd never seen before, some great artwork. Tusando, a Japanese artist's in there too. And then this, I want these. These are, I know, I don't know how big they are, I don't know what they are, but you get 4 different kind of flavors. You get a Darth Vader, a Falcon one, an R2-D2 one, and a BB-8. I mean, if this was a Yoda and a Boba Fett, you and I would be just, you know, squealing with delight here. But I believe these are to store all the collectibles that they come in.
Hard plastic things.
Hard plastic. Now, in the UK, they have a little Royal Mail. The post office has a kind of mail trays like this, but they're fit. They don't collapse down. I think you get them in the US too. Are they really cool? So lockable, stackable, really sturdy, and just beautifully, beautifully designed. I guess they come with a little. Sorry, on you go.
I was gonna say those are different.
Yeah,
really pretty cool actually.
They really are, and they come with this little promo set of BB gear and stickers and stamps and postcards and whatnot, Darth and the Falcon, but just beautifully originally done. Imperial Army, it says the YT-1300 light freighter for the Falcon, and yeah, just beautiful, just really, really nice out the blue. So anybody who can read Japanese, please let us know if you click the link below and tell us what we're missing here. So I think most of these are images. That's why Google couldn't really translate a lot of it, but I'll try actually over here. But yeah, kind of unusual and different. So yeah, definitely worth translate. But yes, most of our images, so it won't translate the content, which is a shame. There we go.
Very cool. Let's see, moving on to some TV, movie, book, and game news. We're not going to share the images because we'll probably get some sort of a copyright strike on YouTube, which is known to happen. A bunch of Rogue One images had leaked out this week from a upcoming visual guide. That was pretty cool. It revealed a lot of character names, some vehicles. I won't get too spoilery here in case you want to avoid that kind of stuff for Rogue One, but you get some confirmations, some really cool concepts, and like I said, some names of all the characters that are going to be in there for the most part. I think a couple might be left out, but it was just full of really great artwork. So aliens and new aliens that we haven't seen before. So.
I went to post it, and just everybody was talking about it and shared it with. I thought, oh well, it was just wildfire, that book. Jedi Bibliothek, the German site, I think, was first on on the call with that, but the Imperial officer, whose name is actually specified in the book, it's some beautiful shots, and the Death Troopers and the Rebel droids in there too, with some nice schematics and information. So yeah, very good.
Yep.
Very good.
So if you're really curious as to that, you could simply do a Google search and all those images will pop up, I'm sure. Moving on to some comic news here. John Tyler Christopher has a couple new comic book covers that had debuted this week. Some good ones.
He's been a busy boy.
One in particular.
Yeah. So yeah, Han and Carbonite. God, this guy is just unbelievable. He just churns these out. And a bunch of Marvel ones he's done as well recently. But yes, Collector's Cantina, always great on Twitter, shared some stuff out. And yes, the Han Solo Carbonite Chamber is one, and this one, which is beautiful, I must admit, is gorgeous.
Yep.
The Yoda just is beautiful. It's exactly as I remember from the package, even the little bubble as well. And quite a nice image he's used there. I thought he'd maybe use something quite different or try to go looking like the figure, but he's done a really nice job.
Yep. I'll be getting that one for sure. Let's see what else. There was a book that had popped up. I first saw this on a Twitter feed of mine. This is a book that's being produced by Philip J. Reed, who's done other books before. This is a vintage Kenner book that he's doing that's just covering that just covers vintage newspaper ads. And it's a very unique book in the fact that he's, kind of reprinting those old vintage ads, but then supplementing it with adding actual photographs of the toys that it's advertising next to it. So It's a really cool layout. If you take the link either in the show notes or, go to Yakface.com, whatnot, and you can see some sample pages. He's got a few posted on his Kickstarter page. And it's a decent layout, and it's just good to see all of this stuff again in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, all that promotional material was, again, for all the old farts out there, me included. There was nothing, and it was, there was no internet. I feel really weird saying that. There was no internet, but there was none, and there was no smartphones, and there was nothing like that. So we... magazines and newspapers were how we kind of got our news and TV and so forth. So the old vintage ads were just, I'm sure you were like me, you pored over these adverts, because it would maybe reveal a new toy or something. And it was just, it was incredibly key for us for communication way back then to see this stuff. So yeah, sometimes our first glimpse of new toys this was how we got it. This was the only way we got it. So
he's done a nice. I believe he did meet his Kickstarter goal, because what's interesting about this wasn't done in order to get the book finished or anything like that. The book was completely done. It was just a matter of the funding to actually print the piece. So I believe, from what I read on Twitter, I think it was yesterday, maybe it was today. I think it was yesterday. He did meet his goal, so he is actually going to produce the book for those that helped support the project.
There we go. Live count, 117 backers. God, we can get more of that. I'm going to kick in for that for sure. But yeah, $5,000 goal, 5,209 already. Still get 3 days to go. Yep. That's definitely worth.
I backed it.
Yeah, I'll be back in that too. That's really good. I definitely want to get a copy of that. That's rather nice. Very good.
Let's see, moving on to the Star Wars show. This is a new venture that Lucasfilm and the official Star Wars site have taken on. They're starting to publish or post weekly video shows, not too dissimilar from what we do here obviously
welcome.
Obviously they're more highly produced than ours, but it's a web series that's 7 minutes long, and it kind of recaps the week's news, the whether it's collecting or movie news or event things like Celebration and TV stuff. So it's kind of a new thing. I think they're only 2 episodes in. Yesterday was the second episode, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. If it stays in this kind of brief, less than 10-minute format, or if it expands even further, or they have, because they kind of also tease the fact that they're going to give exclusive news as well, reveals. So it'll be interesting. I mean, we're in the thick of new content right now as far as new movies and TV shows, and so kind of be interesting to see how this new venture kind of piggybacks on all of the new content coming out.
Oh, look, I mean, Andy Gutierrez is always watchable. She's always fun and bubbly and just great and passionate about Star Wars. I mean, it's definitely a very family-orientated show and kind of fun, and maybe not quite so hardcore for collectors and other folks. So don't disband as yet, everybody. No, no, like it's more video content is good for Star Wars. There's very few people out there who do anything on a regular basis that I know of for Star Wars, covering collectibles and toys and that kind of information and just other stuff too. So the more the merrier. I mean, absolutely, bring it on. So be good to see what happens. Yep.
Let's see, I don't have a link here, but there's rumblings of a sequel to the Battlefront game that they just released. There's talk of how people wish there was a story mode for it, where you could actually go through and do a story, like you have an objective and goals rather than just run around and shoot people or be killed by snipers or whatever. So I think that there's talk that there's going to be a new version coming out which will allow for that type of gameplay, which would be very, very fun.
Absolutely. I mean, I think I've just ventured into the world of PS4 recently, and Uncharted, a great kind of, I mean, talk about story. I mean, it's like a movie, and having something like that for Star Wars would be good. And I'd love to get Battlefront, but it is predominantly, I mean, it's kind of, I mean, good luck trying to play it if you've not got the PlayStation Network or the Xbox equivalent to join in with other people, because it's an online game. Right. So when you have a lot of time to spend on it, then forever are you going to suck at the game because you need to spend a lot of time playing it online to practice. But yeah, it'd be good to get some kind of a stronger campaign story and have all the multiplayer elements bolted on too. So yeah, I hope so. I hope they do that.
Yeah,
it'd be good.
Let's see, a couple last minute things here. There was an image you had shared from Twitter regarding some behind the scenes images from A New Hope, which I thought.
Had you seen them?
Yeah,
I mean, if anybody's
seen them before.
I had not seen this before. If anybody's really squeamish, then look away now. But I mean, we've always seen the Ponda Baba arm shot in the movie, and occasionally we'd seen some stills behind. I had seen this dude with a beard here before. Not that long ago, actually, the picture kind of surfaced around a little bit. But yeah, seeing Ponda's head off there as he's cleaning it up off the pipe and the flares, fantastic. But that shot I'd not seen before, and seeing this bloody mess, and it's something for Star Wars A New Hope. I mean, obviously at the time they didn't show it, but I just wonder whether one day we're maybe going to get the R-rated Deadpool-like version of really what Star Wars was going to be, where stormtroopers did get killed, and you saw blast marks and you saw limbs and all sorts of stuff. So, but yeah, nice little old vintage shot there. I hadn't seen before.
Nice. And then I saw this one as well. The Luke and Rey deleted scene from The Force Awakens. Pretty good. I don't know how much of it you can share.
I saw this in Twitter last week. I just should have shared, but I love that end scene in The Force Awakens. Also because it's quite ridiculous that nothing said, and I love the way this person has made this. It's you have to watch it. Very funny. If you know the old Celine Dion song, you'll know what I mean. But it's beautifully done. So clever, so clever. So thought we give up.
We'll have the link in the show notes so you could check that out. It is pretty good. So that wraps up this week's news for the most part. We've got some review type things here. Did you have anything that you'd want to share this week?
A bunch of stuff. Non-Star Wars Marvel Legends, again, still reviewing the Civil War, Batman, and other stuff. No Star Wars as yet, but yeah, coming up soon.
Yeah, I saw your channel was pretty busy with.
Very busy.
Posts. So always good to check out those things other than Star Wars. I received the Disney Store. The limited edition Boba Fett statue thingy from them. Thingy. It's not a terrible piece, but it's not something I'm planning on keeping.
You made a beautiful image of it, and when you tweeted it out, it was a kind of silhouette image. There you go. That was a cracker. So it's a beautiful looking piece.
I like the light up feature. It's really, really good.
It's nice.
But it's a decent piece overall. I think the price is probably twice as much as it really needs to be. But it's well painted. It's well sculpted, and it's a nice display piece. It's weighty. I mean, it doesn't feel cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not something I'm going to plan on holding on to, I don't think.
Limited edition is $750. Wow. $150. Wow. It's good photos. You can certainly really see the figure itself, and if there's ever a way to make you want to buy it, it's definitely seen reviews and images like this to just... The light up feature is good. I do like that. That is nice.
Yeah, that really sold it for me, that it lit up, because when was it? I think it was 2014. They had the Darth Vader one that came out, which I had purchased as well, and that was a decent piece, but it didn't have any kind of a light up feature. So I thought, this was probably a better, as far from a value standpoint, this Boba Fett one was better. It is like I said, it's a great piece. It's just not something I plan on hanging on to.
No, it's like you got to make room for stuff in your collection. I agree with that.
Yeah,
for sure. So
I'm in the middle of redoing my Star Wars room now, so I'm in packing and tearing down mode. So
been there, done that.
That helped make the decision not to keep this.
Still nice.
What else? New toy acquisitions and purchases for our past couple of weeks that we've missed?
Pretty lean on the Star Wars front. Still my pop addiction. I think I shared the last time. The ARAT driver, the US Walgreens rear non-exclusive. A few other rare pop that I'm finding, little things like the Rocketeer and some other really great ones that I've always been hunting for. Nothing else Star Wars apart from this. Rather big piece.
Nice.
The Hot Toys kind of limited edition version with the I don't know whether in hindsight I would really have, it was only like, I think it was only like $20 difference for the base.
Really?
Yeah, that's it. I'm sure it was pretty reasonable cost-wise for between the base and just the figure on its own. So check the price, and we'll put a link in the review when I do it, which I'm in the middle of doing. So obviously we've talked about this before. The base is not scaling any way to the figure, but the figure is very, very cool. Hot Toys have just done the figure justice. Sideshow had really kind of pissed off a lot of collectors before with their version with the chest. There was a few issues with it. But this is beautifully, beautifully done. They've nailed it. They've done a fair job. I think, like you, my favorite is still the Empire Strikes Back version, but actually this is very cool. This is still very, very cool. So for me, I think this is a keeper. It comes with another stand as well, so there's a flat stand, very similar to all the other recent Hot Toys figures from the Force Awakens. So it's nice that you can connect them all up and have a bigger display stand. But love the jetpack flames, and we'll give this figure a proper rinse over shortly. But yeah, it's a big boy. So yeah, very nice. That was it.
Let's see. For me, over the past couple of weeks, I had some Astromechs I picked up from Disney. There was obviously the May the 4th one that came out. I received that. I went back and picked up one that I had missed before, the R2-D2. That was like the silver one that came with like the Mickey Apprentice hat. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I do.
So I got that just the other day. Like I said, the Smuggler's Bounty box that came. The Elite prototype Boba Fett that arrived, and it's back there on my prototype Boba Fett shelf here at my office.
Museum.
Yeah, my little shrine to white Boba Fett. And like I just talked about, the limited edition Boba Fett statue figurine type thing. But that rounds out my pickups for this week and this week's show. Thank you all for watching, everyone, and for joining us on this week's show. Feel free to leave a comments, and thanks for watching and sharing and leaving all sorts of good tips and whatever through social media. It's good to connect with everyone, and I mean, social media works the best for finding out things as far as deals and just passing on general news. So thank everyone for continuing on doing that. Where can we find you, sir?
Flyguy.net, and all the links to Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and this show and all that stuff are there.
Sounds good. You could find me on Yakface.com, on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and here every week or so. So until next time, we will see you all then. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.